With us now is one of the presenters. In fact, he was a moderator for the music roundtable here at the CARIFORUM EU Business Forum, a man who in Jamaica wears many hats, Clyde McKenzie. Now, Clyde, as moderator for this music roundtable, what were some of the functions of that?
Well, one of the things that I had to do was to extract the recommendations from that particular roundtable and put it to the plenary. So it was a bit of interpretation, a bit of massaging, my own views to have filtered into it because I have many strong views about the direction of the music industry in the Caribbean, and most of those were reflected in the paper that we presented at the plenary.
So this, of course, Clyde, was in the context, though, of the CARIFORUM and EU's EPA. What were some of the major sticking points that came out from the roundtable?
Well, you have to remember that part of the problem as far as taking advantage of the opportunities presented by this EPA is that we have not been very good at implementation. So what you do is you have these treaties and these obligations which are not being fulfilled in a timely fashion. And therefore, what you find is that we're not able to extract the opportunities that have presented themselves. And that is a real challenge, because unless we put the enabling environment in place, no amount or number of treaties that we sign with trading blocks will help us, because it is a matter of our putting our house in order in a number of different ways in order to take advantage of those opportunities.
What is your recommendation to the various stakeholders, particularly the government, as a next step following this conference?
Well, in Jamaica, we are in a position in which steps are being taken to facilitate some of the needs of the music sector. Part of what I've always been talking about, maybe for the last 20 years, has been the appropriate funding modalities for the creative sector. You can't use the traditional collateralized approach to funding for the creative sector. And therefore, we now hear of venture funds being established. I think one was announced yesterday. We hear of angel funding being established. These are the kinds of funding modalities that we have to put in place if we are going to really go to the next step. Because what is happening is that for too long, our business is really just on a tactical level, on an individual level. It is not based on a strategic and on a sustainable level. So you have the one examples of success, but you don't have a consistent flow of success stories. And that is because we have structural weaknesses in the music sector and the cultural sectors, which we need to deal with. Funding is one, but you can't ask people for money unless you have the capacity to absorb their money, you know. And therefore, we have to structure our business in a way that people are going to say, well, look, we want to invest in the music business. It makes sense. I heard a bit of nonsense spoken that, you know, people will invest if they know who they are, if they know the people. Yes, of course. If you know people and you know who you're talking, that helps. Right. But it mustn't be about the fact that me and you are friends. It must be the fact that you know my competence, I have presented you with a solid proposal, and you have objectively analyze it, and it makes sense.
Final one for you. What about that matter of professionalism from the various stakeholders? The performers on the one hand, talking about music, and then those behind the scenes, the managers.
No, well, one of the points I was making today was that if you don't have the appropriate back office kind of support, the managers and those types of people who are sufficiently trained and enlightened, you have a problem, because your manager and your support team, they create value for you, or they can prevent value being destroyed. If you have a good PR person, that person can help you because you get into some crisis and they can deal with damage control. That's the kind of thing. your management can extract more value because of their negotiating skills. So if we don't look at all of those things, we're going to be in trouble.